Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about wahoo fishing, but specifically about selecting colors, okay? And not just about like going and selecting colors based on what the light's doing and all that stuff. We're going to just talk about flat out going out and buying lures and what I recommend that you buy based on fluorescence, okay? Based on whether they have the right fluorescent colors, okay? And why, I'm going to explain that here very shortly. So first, let's pull up the blog here, and I've got so much information out there on my website as far as blogs go, and I know a lot of people don't like to read anymore, so I don't know. It's just the new age. But anyway, so there I have a lot of information on my blog site, and I'm going to pull up one specific blog that I really feel that we need to go over and cover a little bit more. So I'm going to pull that up here on the shared screen here. So let's do that. Very important to realize that I do feel that there's just been a lot of different, just a lot of different stuff out there as far as what fish actually see and how they do it, and how they hunt. But I'm gonna for myself, I've just learned over the course of years from making mistakes, and then I've got this bad habit of over analyzing things, and I've worked on that over the years, and I think too much, but then I'm like, yeah, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I'm not afraid to make a mistake, in other words. So I've made some mistakes with colors over the years. And just by not having the confidence to change, not having the confidence to think that, hey, this is might be what's happening. So, and over the years, I've worked on that and I've made changes. And sometimes it's just like, man, I just don't want to change. And a color. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden my gut tells me I need to change because the light's changing out there, the fish are adapting more. And as soon as I started making some changes, I started seeing some differences in how the fish were acting on certain days. I was getting more bites. So in other words, what I want, just the basis of all this is that I want you to develop your own styles, okay? So, and one thing about it is that developing your own styles is I want you to have your own make up your own minds. But with that being said, is that one of my biggest things is you got to have, I say to myself, is having a lot of tools in your tackle box is like you can never have enough. You can never have enough ammunition, enough weapons. So I'm going to give you a weapon today, something that you guys can think about. So let's dig into it here. So as you can see here, I really have spent a lot of time studying over the past years of different colors, not only from what I'm using, from what I know that some other guys that I know are using, and then we kind of combined information. And with that, I came up with different studies, and I really dug into it hard. And over the past, just every year, I spend a lot of time thinking about this stuff. And sometimes I go to bed at night thinking about it. I'll sleep all night thinking about it. Like I said, it's not sometimes it's not very healthy, I guess you can say. So, but in other words, so I'm going to share some stuff with you guys here about what I think personally and based on science. Okay, the science of fishing, and I've always been very strong about that. I really do feel that having a good grasp on what fish actually see and how they do it is going to catch you more fish. So let's talk about, I want to talk to you guys about a couple different things. So this is one thing I want to pull up here, and this is the picture of Concrete Public divers. Okay, and I've talked about this picture before because it really does say a lot about what fish might see down there. And last year I seen a shift in, I was really seeing a lot more. And the year before I kind of missed out on it because there was a shift in how fish were biting. It just I don't know. I just seen some differences, and from what I see, from what other people see, it's totally up to, their own gig. But what I started seeing was more bites on more hot pink fluorescent lures. Okay. And if you take a look at this picture here, now a lot of, you're over the years you study about, you hear lots of things about how pink disappears at certain depths, yellow disappears at certain depths, oranges, reds. Well, here's what here's what it comes down to, guys, is that this pink color is a fluorescent pigmentation. Okay, it's a fluorescent pigmentation that's there. Okay, and it's a what that fluorescence pigmentation does, it reacts with UV light. And we all know that UV light is extremely like it's intense. Even on the super cloudy days, that light is super intense and it penetrates deep down into the ocean, and the fluorescence grabs the UV. Okay, that's plain and simple. So what you got here is you've got that's why you've got this coloration of fluorescent pink. Okay, and that's grabbing that UV light and that's reflecting back, and boom, there you go. You're getting it's actually it's actually reflecting that respective pink color. So the same goes with orange. As you can see, I'm wearing my favorite orange shirt. The reason why I like orange is that that's my favorite, one of my favorite Wahoo colors. It's my favorite Wahoo head color. It's not just an orange paint, it's a fluorescence orange. Okay, it's got fluorescence UV pigmentation in it, and it stands out deep into the watercolor column. And the same goes with like the chartreuse, the yellows. Okay, if it's got that fluorescent paint in it, it's going to stand out in that, especially on those dark days. And last year we had, like, we were in that El Nino, we had several days of clouds and like, and, you know, that's what they get tuned in on that stuff. They get the fish, like, really, for some reason, if their eyesight and all that stuff, they become so tuned in on that bright pinks. And I don't really think it has anything to do with any sort of fish. Really, I don't. I just think that it looks like a fish and they just want to kill it. So that hot pink fluorescence just pisses them off enough to get them to bite. So also too, we do know that, like, everybody's like, oh, red disappears. No, a fluorescent red does not disappear. Okay, it stays like red all the way down to the, like, into the deep water. And if it's a fluorescent pigmentation of red, it will reflect. Okay, it will, like, that it catches that UV light and it maintains that red color. Okay, so, and then you add the black to it, like a little black and red. There you go. You got your blackfin tuna, like, feather, and something to think about. Something to think about. Okay, so as we come up here, you can, as I go through this blog here, I talk about, like, say for example, if you're fishing like a lure that doesn't have any fluorescence in it, like any, it's not a pigmentation, it doesn't, it's like cheaper lure, so it doesn't have any of the fluorescence pigmentation and paint in it, or it doesn't have any of that stuff built into it. It's just painted. And so what you can do is, you can add some UV to it, you can add something to try to get it to stand out. One thing I like to do with, like, crystal hair, it already bends in the light, it's already an amazing color. And what they're doing with some UV hair now is that they're dyeing it, like, with blue fluorescence pigmentation, with blue fluorescent paint. Okay. And then you're getting something like amazing in the water. So you have blue UV hair from the tackle room that, they make like a blue UV hair. It's a little stiffer, but it does do well in the water. So, Islander has been known to have, like, that blue UV hair, little stiffer. They call it electric blue. It's a good hair, but it doesn't have that. It's just a little too stiff. It's an Islander. That's why Islanders are that electric blue, that electric pink. works very well. It's like the electric pink is just a great Islander color. Uh, so we'll come up here. We've got, like I said, as you go through the blog here, you'll see that the Wahoo lure color pink, it's inherently an ultraviolet UV. Okay. So it's not just every color pink. And that goes with plugs as well. There are specific plugs that work more than others. Okay. Because like not all pinks are fluorescent. Okay. Some are going to catch more color than others, and some are going to stand out a little bit more because they're using it like different pigmentations. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Just because it looks pretty, and just because you have a pink lure, doesn't mean it's going to actually work down there and catch that UV light. So there's lots of little tricks that you can do to check it out, or you can just spray your orange or your pink lure with some UV blast and get it to enhance it a little bit. Not to say it's going to work, but anyways, what it really comes down to is the fluorescence paint in there, whether the paint has that in is fluorescent or not. Okay. And it same goes with like colorblind. Everybody's like, oh, Wahoo are colorblind, they can't see it. Well, guys, human beings are colorblind, and when you add super bright fluorescence, like a bright fluorescence orange, or a fluorescent UV pink. If you go back to studies can say, and I'm not colorblind, so I don't really know, but like I said, they say that if you're a little colorblind, you can see it just a little bit. It seems that just everybody's a little bit different, but listen, when it comes to wahoos, that's the perfect predator. That fish uses UV light to hunt. There are no studies to say that he doesn't. So I can think that because that's actually going to help me select my lures. Okay. And since I started becoming since I was thinking about it, but I wasn't confident with it. I wasn't like, but I grasped the fact that in my brain, I know that I'm confident in my selection of my lures based on the sky now, based on when to change them out. I'm making decisions based on like different things now on how I'm going to run and my baits. Am I going to run a certain color this day? Am I going to run this color? All that stuff. So it's there's just so much, but if you can grasp that concept of the Wahoo using UV light to hunt, and then you go down like in the blog here and you can read through it and you look at that picture and you can say to yourself, okay, is that Wahoo hunting? So you have to cover your depths, okay? Is that if the Wahoo's hunting if he's looking straight ahead and he's looking at a different depth. Let's say, for example, if he's just covering a zone where where the bonito are swimming in like 30 feet. So if he's at the same depths as them, then, or if he's at the same like something, and then you have a bonito school, and then you give that fish an outlier of like some sort of pink, and that might be just enough to set that thing off to get him to eat, get one to eat, just one to get him pissed and just have him just tear at it. Okay. So the same goes with iridescence, is that not only should your lures have the fluorescence in them that will grab that UV light, but they should also have iridescence, meaning that they should reflect some sort of scale pattern, especially if you're using like if the fish are tuned into bonitos. Okay. So bonitos have iridescence in the skin. Okay. They reflect light. And that's really why I like the bait strip, is that when you put it in the light and you twist it around, it reflects some iridescence in it. And it looks like a bottom of a bonito. So when you're using bonito strips, you want to make sure that your strip like has that iridescence in it. Like it has to have it. It has to have it. Okay, if it reflects nice, if it's like been in the water and it's losing its scale, you have to look at your strip. It's not all about like, that's why a fresh strip, I believe, works very well. I remember being fishing in Honduras, like my first time wahoo fishing ever, and we had some old bait that didn't have that shine to it, and he would catch a bonito right out of the water, and then he would strip it out right there on the boat. He'd put it out, and we would pass over the same schools, and we would get smashed. Okay. So that just tells you something right there. So the fresher the bait, it doesn't mean like the smell. It just means like the shine. Okay. So one thing you can do to that bonito strip is to give it a little bit of something something, is that you can give it a little bit of UV blast. Okay. So just go to my link here and you guys can pull it up and check it out. So guys, and my new Wahoo course that I got out right now, that's available for you guys to buy, that we're going to be launching here very soon. It's just go to my website and you can go to Good Karma Sport Fishing. I'm sorry, goodkarmafishingtackle.com, and go to my courses and you can purchase link. And also there'll be links in the show notes as well. But I'm going to be really going into depth on color selection and that stuff. And I'm going to share some stuff. Okay. And I really, I look forward to it. And I'm not, the guys are going to get some good stuff in this course. So if you're interested, make sure that you get signed up. It's still the early bird. And also, too, this Wednesday night, I'm going to be talking about the secret. Okay. I released a free, like secret video that you can sign up, free Wahoo secret video. And I'm going to be in the Good Karma rigging crew this Wednesday night. We're going to be digging into the secret of what the actual secret is. So you'll have to sign up for the rigging crew. And again, that link is going to be in the show notes for you guys to get signed up in as well. Okay. So that's really all I want to share with you guys today. Oh, I'll give you one, let's do one SatFish tip here for you. I always like to do a little SatFish tip for you guys. So and about especially it's vacation week and stuff. So I'm gonna pull up a little I'll pull up my shared screen for you guys. So just give me 2 seconds here. See if I can get you guys dialed in on for this week. Because I know a lot of you guys are down here on vacation and stuff. So let's get signed into SatFish really quick. I wasn't gonna do one, but I said, let's get signed into SatFish here. Easiest way to find dolphin right now. Easiest way. Now I am catching some dolphin. We did catch some dolphin in shallow, like I told you guys we did. We caught a few in shallow last week, and they were nice fish actually. So there's no boundaries right now, and the water's really clean and really good and out there, and there were some nicer fish in close, in within 300 feet actually. So I'll pull up the keys here. And so the Saharan dust is starting to clean out a little bit. That's good and bad. That means, when that Saharan dust goes away, it means hurricane season's soon to follow. So we'll see how this year goes. Okay. So let's pull up the cloud-free SST. All right. So as you guys can see here, as you follow my cursor, we've got some warm water here. This was taken at 10 p.m. last night. So just remember, over the course of the day, the surface water heats up. Okay, so this is about right. By about 10 o'clock at night, it's going to heat up 3 degrees. And in the morning, it's about 84, 85 degrees. So, and then it heats up over the course of the day, at least 2 degrees. So let's come up here to pickles, and you guys can see as we get out, you've got 87, 80, and you've got our first temp break out there about 600 feet there. That's pretty good. And then you've got some warm pockets, and then right outside here. So And you've got that little patch of light blue water there, that little patch of blue. So if you're really looking, you want to focus on these patches of blue water here. Like I said, your temp break is way out there right now. You see that 85-degree water? That's way out there, and you have to be careful traveling out that far. But what'll happen is if you get an incoming tide, on your incoming tide, that water should start pushing in a little bit. Maybe we'll see. Usually a little bit later in the evening. This may, depending on what the Gulf Stream's doing. But anyway, so that's how. I mean, honestly, that's a long ways out there. But I just to show you guys how far that is. Sorry, I get back up here. So if you're looking, out there like that, you want to go to your trip planner. If I'm fishing out of Tavernier, I just yeah, it's like 25 miles, 25 nautical miles to that temperature break right there. But that's probably going to hold some nice stuff. It's a long ways out. Okay, so we've got that. And then we'll see if I see anything on the high def water. You've got some darker stuff right here. Come out a little bit. Kind of broke up. It's been kind of cloudy down here. So we'll pull up a 3-day composite. Not seeing too much. Looks pretty clean. You've got some darker blue here. When it goes from, I'll show you a little trick here. So if you're looking for some weed, like some sargassum weed lines, what you'll do is, so you can see the darker stuff here. And then I want you to come up to the corner and look at the numbers. I'm just going to give you the numbers. So if you're right here, you can see it goes from 0.05 to 0.06. So if as you're coming out, it's 0.06, 0.06, then it goes to 0.05. So you might find a color change or find some color changes right there, meaning that you might find a temperature break right there. It might or you might find a sargassum weed line. Always worth investigating. And then we'll pull up the current, and it's summertime current. And something I'm going to be talking about in the future is predicting current. But I got to tell you what, as it gets hotter, the current starts to smoke. So it's been a smoking current, and it looks like it's still moving pretty good. So if you're out looking, like if you're up here by, say if you're coming out of Key Largo, you want to look for that right there. But I would honestly, if you're looking to catch them, I would put your route on, put your start route on, boom, boom, come right out to that, run out 17 miles and look for that blue to green. So in the new course, the new Wahoo course, we're going to be digging into SatFish secrets and what I'm going to look for. So make sure you get signed up, because I'm going to be covering that as well. What I specifically look for. So as far as your dolphin goes, there you go. Pull up the SatFish. Like I said, there's no boundaries on these fish right now. I'm finding them like I found some decent. It's like when that east wind has just been ripping. So it's pushed a lot of fish in close, but today there's like no wind, no wind. So eventually what's going to happen is I had told you guys last week that it was going to be windy and not you wouldn't have to worry about heading out as far. Well, that was the truth. The fish were in fairly close. And also now, now that as it gets calmer, you're going to start seeing the fish start to push out into that deeper water again. So, and the currents has been ripping. So I didn't fish today. I have no idea what it's doing today. So uh, that's it. So if you want to get signed up for SatFish. Good Karma is the code, $20 off. Learn how water moves, catch more fish. It's an awesome product. Okay, so again, this Wednesday night, Good Karma Rigging Crew. I'm going to go over the secret, and if you want to get signed up for that freebie, there's a link in the show notes that you can sign up for, and you'll get sent the freebie. Okay, and then the Wahoo course, and then if you're looking to book a trip with me this fall, or actually it's not fall, it's August. So this August, book now. And then if you're planning on going Wahoo fishing with me, then you need to get your trips on the books. Okay. So no guarantees that we'll be able to go Wahoo fishing, but just because of the weather. So what we'll be doing this fall is I've got some new stuff I'm excited to show you guys as far as the some new techniques and some other stuff with live bait. So you guys are going to enjoy seeing some new stuff and some new secrets that I'm going to be sharing in the new Wahoo course as well. So that's all I got, guys. Follow me on Instagram at Good Karma Sportfishing _FL _keys. You can check out my website, goodkarmasportfishing.com. Go to the blog that I just showed you, and I've got so much there for you. You can just go through and read and just start soaking it in, and then get involved with the Good Karma rigging crew. You can sign up, like I said, sign up in the link in the show notes. And that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.